Hey, g'day YouTube, this is Mike from Australian Institute of Advanced Studies. Everything's looking good, yep, audio's good. Today, I can see Lovey's in here. How's it going, Lovey? Good to see you, mate. I'll just check the chat. Yeah, I can pop you up there. Nice. I'll have to get rid of the ticker. Let's ditch that ticker. Alright, ditching the ticker. There we go. Alright, and then I can hide you like that. Cool. Okay, so last week was a bit of a short stream. Had my grandkids coming over, so I was pretty excited to get out of here. This week, not so much, so hang around, do a bit of a live stream again about the Elgato Stream Deck and the Atem Mini Pro, and also the system that I've got set up here. I'm going to show you how I've got it all hooked up, how I've got it wired, how I use the Stream Deck with companion software and also the proprietary Stream Deck software. I also had a few people during the week with comments on last week's video asking me how I did certain things, so I'm going to run through that. The Leonardo Ceradio, I hope I got that right, asked me about picture-in-picture and some stinger transitions. So I've done up a little thing showing how that works. I've actually done a picture-in-picture with the video playing in it. That's what he wanted to see, but I've also made that so that a stinger transition plays at the beginning, then another piece of video, then followed by the stinger transition. So he wanted to have a look at that. Lux Island Events asked about, and also Fernando Santos, they asked about using the Elgato Stream Deck and companion, because most people don't think that they can be used together, but they can. I've made it work. I'm using it quite regularly now. I'm pretty happy. It's quite stable. I did have some issues early on when I was first setting up. They did clash a little bit, but I've worked out a way to make them work together and it's working well. And also Tommy Reynolds, he asked me about VLC, so playing video, the way I've set that up so that it pops up. I quickly did that last week, but I'll go into that in a bit more detail. Okay, so let's get to it. I've got a button over here. I'll just switch to camera 1, bit of a preview over here. You can't really see. I will pop up the actual Stream Deck software so you can have a look at the buttons and go through that. So looking at my layout here, so I'm going to go through that. I'm opening up a diagram in Affinity Photo and I'm just going to paint some lines in there, how I've got the cabling set up and how this setup is and why it is the way I've got it. Okay, so on here I've set up a little test button for the picture-in-picture and the video, and another little picture-in-picture. So here we go, and this should dip to black, open up the software, the Affinity Photo with the image that I want, and then bring it back up with me, hopefully up in the top right corner of the screen looking at it. So here we go, let's test it out. So dip to black. I should still have my mic, all the audio. Here we go, and it didn't work. I don't know why that didn't work. Why is the software not popping up? Oh well, that was a bit of a fail. We'll try that again. No, why is that software not popping up? The app launcher, let me have a look. I did have a bit of a issue earlier. Layout JPEG, that should work. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, it was working earlier. Don't you hate that? Images, I'm just going to pop it open and have a look what's going on with that software. You've kept it out of the way. I don't want it out of my way. View. Alright, let's get rid of you. Escape. Alright, that's not the image I want. Alright, here we go. And we'll try again. Let's try our picture-in-picture, see if it works. Alright, okay. Obviously a little bit more testing involved on that one. Okay, so I don't know why that didn't work. It lost connection somehow to the Affinity Photo. Alright, so here we go. This is our setup here that I've done at the college. The computer, that's just the basic specs of the computer. So starting out, it's an i7, 3 GHz, 8 core. I've put in an MSI Radeon RX 580 Armor 8 gig graphics card. That gave me extra HDMI ports out. That's what I needed. 32 gig of RAM and the Blackmagic Intensity Pro HDMI editing card, so that gives me a pass-through for my HDMI. Now the way that's set up, I'm just going to change a couple of colors up here. Let's do an orangey color, and the other one, I don't know, let's make it a greeny color. That'll do. Alright, so with my brush, now the way I've got it set up is, I'll just place some cameras. We've got 3 cameras set up at the moment, so I do have a little camera icon that I've done. I'll pop them, I don't know, let's say they're over here. Here we'll do one, and we'll just copy them. Okay, so 3 cameras, pretty straightforward from the Atem. 1 camera, 2 cameras, go away assistant, and 3 cameras. Yay, so they're my 3 feeds, pretty straightforward. Okay, actually I should put a pixel layer in for this. And then comes the Stream Deck. That's obviously popped into the computer here. I also have an Atomos Caddy, which I use on my Atomos, that's up actually this camera here, Atomos Ninja 5 or V for recording, but I've got it hooked up, as you can see. If I switch to camera 1, you can see it's just here. So this is hooked up constantly. Oops, I've lost a connection there for some reason. Well, it's all going south. Don't know why I lost connection to that drive. Ah, it just popped out. As you can see, it's hooked up. So I have the drive hooked up constantly so I can record. I'm not recording today, only in the live stream. And you're wondering, okay, how's he got this program monitor as well? So my program monitor, the way I've done that is, I'll do that in green, is the feed from the Atem Mini Pro. So your HDMI out is going into the in the HDMI, the Intensity Pro card, and back out into this monitor. Okay, so the way that it's coming into this card gives me this multi-view, okay, into the computer. Now that multi-view then comes out of here and into the Kogan, the big 65-inch TV screen, which is up here somewhere. You might be able to see it. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can actually see it. It's behind me. It's behind me here. Whoop, 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 behind me here. Oh, crap. You're not seeing this, are you? Hey, Fernando, awesome. You're in here. That's great, mate. Awesome. Really good to see you. Now I'm showing you all this, but we're not seeing it because I'm silly and forgot to pop this over here. So let's start all that again. Okay, sorry about that. Control A, delete. Why are we not deleting? Control A, delete. Okay, let's start again. All right, so the way I've got this hooked up is from the HDMI out from the Atem Mini Pro is going into the Intensity Pro card. It is then coming out of the Intensity Pro card into the BenQ monitor. Okay, so I'm getting the multi-view out of the Atem and into the computer. okay, and then back out of the computer onto that BenQ monitor. So also coming out of my video card, I'm putting this multi-view up to the Kogan 65-inch TV. Now here you can see that's how it would be on the Kogan, okay, so on here, but I'm running OBS, the OBS software up on the Kogan, and cheating by scaling this up. So if I unlock that, I actually scale it in OBS and just scale that up so all you see is the program. Okay, so that's how I'm getting a program. It's a bit of a workaround. It's not exact. Get rid of that. It's not exact, not great quality, but so that's exactly what I'm doing on the Kogan monitor, and just scaling it up. All right, so pretty straightforward there. Now the other monitors, again, they're just hooked into the computer, obviously. One in the computer, another one in my video card here. This monitor here, okay, if I just clear, this is, I think this is monitor 1 here, this one's monitor 2, this one's 3, and this one actually on the Atem, because I have my camera 4 is actually a feed out of a HDMI. It might be out of the card, might be the onboard one, I'm not too sure. Okay, so that's making a monitor out of this, and 3 and 4, I've actually extended what's on monitor 3 onto monitor 4 there. So that's the setup. Okay, so I can record at the same time that I'm streaming, and I also have a program monitor. Now the reason we do this is in this studio, we have been on a budget. We're only a small college, so we went for the little Atem Mini Pro so that we could take it out on site, also do some streaming on site, and use it here in our studio. But we really did need the large program monitor for other students to sit back and watch what someone who's working the deck is doing. Hey, Steve Padmore from London, awesome. So that's our setup. As far as the wiring goes, again, cameras, wired in, put all into the Atem. I've got 3 cameras actually running today. I haven't shown you the 3rd camera, and the Elgato in there. Okay, so it looks like a bit of a mess, but hopefully I've explained that good enough for you. I'll switch back now. Okay, Steve's got a question. I'm actually going to pop Steve's up. Hey, Fernando so I've still got the chat there. I'll just refresh the chat. So, hi Steve from London. Awesome, good to see you, mate. And he's asked, is it possible on the Atem to cut following the audio depending on who's speaking? Yes, you can if you control the audio through each camera. Okay, so on the Atem, I'll just pop that over onto this screen here so you can have a look at it, cover me up. In our mixer controls here, in our audio, you'll see this little button. Where is it? Here, the APV button. Okay, so currently I've got Cam 2, which is the camera I'm talking directly to, and Cam 4, which is my monitor feeding in, which does these overlays and other things. Okay, so I've got the audio coming from the computer if I need it, so when I play videos you can hear that. But if it's switched to APV, whenever a camera is actually switched to in the program monitor, that will switch the audio for that mic. So in theory, depending on how close people are, if they're in different rooms or things like that, then yeah, you could actually just have the audio from each person switch as it's switching to camera. Okay. audio inputs. Okay, so Fernando's asking something here. Let's have a look what he's got here. Refresh that. And Fernando, you have 2 additional audio inputs that don't have AFV because those are audio only. Yeah, if I could show you my screen, if I just pop, I'll quickly just pop that, I can't pop that back up. Yeah, oh, okay, Fernando's, yeah, explain that to Steve, so that's great. Okay, I hope that all made sense. Anyway, that's just a bit of the setup. Our cameras at the moment are in this little studio here. This is the control room, but we do have a larger studio, so I'm just going to pop that open. I'm going to walk out there and hopefully that mic works, so bear with me. Let's switch over to Studio 3. I'll just pop that on the preview. You might be able to see it there, and I'm going to walk and come back and show you our studio, and hopefully the audio's now switching over to there. Actually, for some reason I lost all my setup, but anyway, that'll be okay. All right, cool. All right, so here I am in the studio. This is our studio. It's quite a large studio. We haven't got the cameras in here at the moment because we don't have a tally light system, and that's one of the other reasons why I have that program monitor set up. So when we're recording videos, at the moment I've been getting the directors of the college in the studio just to record some little promo videos that we send out to agents and things like that. And because we don't have a tally light system at the moment, they don't know which camera to look at, so we've got that program monitor up there. It doesn't work great because they keep looking at the program monitor, but it does work. So eventually the cameras will all be out in this studio. We will set up you know, a bit of a set here, desk or whatnot when we are filming those kind of videos, but otherwise all kinds of things in here: green screen, lighting, photography backdrops, those kind of things. Some costumes, a bit of a makeup area. Computer will have a projector on the roof for movie nights and things like that when we show our short films. Yeah, it's a great space. I love it. I love being in here. We do some short films and those kind of things in here. So hopefully this all worked and you do hear me. I'm going to go back to the desk and switch back. Okay, so hopefully that all worked. Let me know if that worked. That's the studio. So yeah, that's where we're going to be moving this rig, well, the camera's out to soon. All right, so the VLC setup. Tommy Reynolds wanted me to show him that. I don't know if he's online. It worked well. Awesome. You heard me. That's great. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Fernando. Yeah, I wasn't too sure. It's the first time I've taken the cameras out of here and tested in the studio. Got a shotgun mic on there. It's not a great one, but yeah, hopefully it worked well. All right. So the playing VLC videos through the Atem with the Stream Deck. Actually, I won't go through that first. What I'll go through first is Companion and Elgato, and the way I've set this up. Actually, that's probably the better place to start. So I had seen videos of other people talking about this and been in forums and things like that, and they've said that you can't have Companion working and the Elgato software, and that's not entirely true. I did have some problems getting this to work, but I have managed to actually get this to work. But it is the beta, okay? So I am running the beta of the Companion software. If I just hide that, I can hide the chat too, cool. So I am running the beta version of Companion. Now I'll just pop that open. All right, so here we go. I'll pop this in here. You can have a look. I'll disappear for a bit. I could probably go picture in picture maybe. I don't know. Yeah, probably can. Let's try. Let's go back onto that. The picture in picture. See what happens. Dip down. Picture in picture. Hopefully it works. I've got to change it over to here. All right. This is the Companion 2.0 beta version. Okay, and there is also a beta plugin for the Companion 2.0 for the Stream Deck. Okay, and that's what actually makes this work, so that you can put the companion buttons into a multi-action on the Stream Deck software. Okay, so I'll pop the Stream Deck software up as well. Okay, so I'll go to this page, H2R page. Okay, so this is my H2R page here on the Stream Deck. Okay, now as you can see, when I bring the companion software, it sets up all these up and down arrows, and you should be able, oops, I should press the wrong button. These page up, page down, so it gives you 99 pages to work with, and I've stuck different macros and different commands to control the Stream Deck. Okay, so in my Stream Deck, coming here, these commands here refer to the button. Oh, I better go back to the first one. Okay, so looking here, if I was popping the logo up, which it's not going to show because my key's off, popping the logo up, I'm referring to button 2 in the companion software, the plugin. It's software, I guess it's online based. This is dynamic, but I can give it the exact page. I don't know why it's changed to dynamic, that's weird. Oh, page 2 is far ahead, should have made it dynamic. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, page 1. Page 1. Okay, so this is page 1 and it's button 2. So we can see that little indicator here that it's page 1. Probably a lot of you have played with this already, but for those who haven't. Okay, but as you can see, I've left this button here free, and this returns back to my menu. So if I return back to my menu, you'll see I have profiles set up. So that's how I've set this up. I've just called that here to record because initially when I set this up, I was only doing the here to record overlay program. So here to record, for those who don't know, is how I do the lower thirds ticker, the logo, the timer when we first start, the live stream message. It's got some other features as well, and I'm currently beta testing the chat feature, which you've seen pop up, which is really cool. So initially when I set that up, it was just for this lower third stuff and testing it all out. But yeah, as you can see, that menu brings me back to a profile on the Stream Deck, and I've set up different profiles. So that's the H2R profile, and that's social one. This is the video profile and other things like that. So when I'm on, I have a menu. I'm obviously not using a lot of buttons at the moment. This brings me back to a main menu where I can access the companion stuff. It does work. Like I say, it did have some little issues at the beginning. I think a lot of that was to do with my IP. It kept losing connection because I didn't have a static IP, but I sorted all that out and had a static IP because the companion software looks for the different plugins to work. So it was looking for the Atem Mini Pro to be able to control it. I had to load the VLC plugin for it to control that. There's some generic OSC commands so that I can control different features on different other little plugins, and the H2R graphics one. Okay, so that's kind of how I've set this up, and like I say, I keep that menu button on any of the pages down the bottom right corner so that it stays there. Alright, so pop back to, oh, don't know why it's not switching back to me. That seems weird. But anyway, oh, because of this, these are on top. All right, so that's kind of how that works. Now the VLC, making that work is a plug-in. Again, I'll bring that up. So here's my buttons here. If I want to play our, let's have a look at this video here. So one of the plugins that I'm using is by Barrader. This is the advanced launcher. So basically I'm killing off the VLC process here just to make sure. Whoops, I should move that. I should go picture in picture, shouldn't I? All right, back to picture in picture. It's still a work in progress, this, obviously. Oh, it's working now. It's opening the software. No, I don't know why it's doing that, but anyway, it actually opened the software. You can't see that, but I got a bit of a tickle out of that. Why's my key off? Oh, because I'm in picture in picture. Okay, I can't have that there. Okay, that's all right. Okay, that's going to be weird. Let's go to camera 1. And I can't do that. No, I can't do that. Okay, yes, because I'm finding things out as I go here. My key's off, so I really need to probably just minimize that, and should be able to then go to camera 4. Okay, that will do. Alright, I'll have to rejig some of my buttons here for certain things when I want to show them. I hadn't run through this to how it would show you, so obviously not working exactly how I thought it would. Okay, so let's go this button here on the Stream Deck and the actions that I use in this. Okay, and again, this only works with the Companion 2.0, the beta version, because the companion buttons can't be used in a I have to click a button for that to change. Why am I not doing that? Don't know why that's not showing up either. That seems weird. Create a multi-action. Don't know why. This might be system. No. I know a few things have changed since I started this, but anyway. So I need to create a multi-action, and that's what this is. So that and it's a multi-action toggle button, this one. Again, I've lost some things, but anyway. So on the first part of the toggle, so I hit the button once, it'll perform these 9 actions. Then when I hit it again, it'll do a different set of actions. So these first set of actions is the Barrader Advanced Launcher, and all I'm doing here is killing off VLC, just in case any other VLC things that I haven't closed, it all shuts down. Okay, so this second one is actually, again, I'll open Companion again as well. I'll just minimize that down so we can see it a bit better. Okay, and I need to be on Cam 2 off, so I'm looking at page 99 here. So 99 switches my cam off, so that's communicating directly with the Atem and switching off camera 2. Switching the audio off on camera 2, sorry, audio off camera 2. I'm dipping to black, so it'll dip to black so that anything that's opening with VLC, you can't see it, it's behind that, because if I use the app launcher here to actually open VLC, you'll see it, the interface open, and then eventually it kind of goes full screen. You'll see all that in the background, so I didn't want that to be seen. So I've dipped to black with the Atem Mini Pro. Okay, so again, this is button 4 on page 99, and that's my fade to black. So it's the fade to black on the Atem. There's a button on the Atem here, and it fades to black. Okay, so I've just popped that little fade to black in. Then I've given a ½ a second delay, okay, just for that fade to black to happen. And then using the app launcher, the Barrader's app launcher again, that's a little plugin for the Stream Deck. and having made VLC my default video application. So all I'm actually doing is opening a video file. So I'm just choosing a video file. Okay, so whatever one, this one, Raven MP4 or whichever one it is, and opening the file, and because VLC is my default program, it opens up. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now there are some things in VLC. If I pop open a video, I'll show you there's a couple of things you do need to set up in VLC as well. I'm just over on my other monitor. I'll just pop open this video and pause it. Okay, there are some things you do need to set up in VLC for it to actually work effectively. So one of the ones to set up in the preferences is in your subtitles. Just turn off your video title, your media title, otherwise it pops up under here. Doesn't look as good. This screen of media is part of this video, but it would pop up here, the Dead Blood Preview movie title here, if you can see that. It would pop that title up under here. If you've popped open a video and you've had this checked by default, you will you'll see the video title. So turn that off, and also in your preference in video you can pick a display screen for it to open up on. Okay, so you obviously want it to open up on the screen that is your program monitor at the time when you've switched to it in the Atem, and that's what that will do. That'll set it to the particular screen to open up on. Okay, so that's just some of the stuff that you need to do with VLC, and you'll find as you play around with this. I've popped another half-second delay in there just to allow for that to open. I've then used the hotkey, which again, I think that was a bar raider one, possibly. Not the advanced launcher. No, it might have been a system one. It's the system one. So then I've just gone the full screen because VLC is the active program, because it's been launched. I can then just use the hotkey little button here and just hit Control F, which then makes VLC go full screen. I dip up from black and then switch the Atem. I've called my camera 4, which goes back into the computer, overlay, because that's where I have my overlays. So that's why it's called there, and that's button 2, page 99 again. So button 2, page 99 is cam 4. Yeah, so cam 4 on the Atem. So again, they're just Atem presets, which you can get from here, the presets. If I went Blackmagic and I wanted to make something the program monitor, camera 4, I just drag that button over to here, and that's camera 4. Okay, pretty straightforward, as you can see. It took a little bit of working out and a bit of experimenting, and some of these you may have to time differently depending on your machine. I did find that I had to upgrade this machine a little bit. It's not super powerful, but it's powerful enough for this, just so the applications would open a bit better, because I had a really basic machine here to start with, because the Atem was doing all the heavy lifting of all the camera switching, and then the bosses wanted, the directors, Pankaj and Noel, they wanted some videos to play while they were talking as well, so to show again agents and things like that. So it's like, okay, how do I do this and make it look professional, so that I don't have to open VLC, drag it onto this screen, make it full size, play the video. Kind of wanted it a one switch kind of thing. So that's those actions there. Over on the other button, over on the toggle side of things, again, it'll dip to black. Okay, again, that's a macro I set up. A macro that I've, no, it may not be a dip to black. It might be one of those defaults. Audio fade, sorry, no, the audio fade is a macro. So this fades out the audio so that it's not a harsh cut of the audio. Dip to black, again, a little bit of a delay, 1 second delay, kills off VLC, switches to camera 2, which is my default camera, which is this one here that you're seeing me on. Fade to black and increase the audio back up so that it's not that harsh cut of the audio. Okay, so I'm just going to shift these off the screen, and then I shall change camera mode again. So let's just see how this works. If it goes back to camera 2 for me. No, I don't know what's going on there. That seems weird. Oh, because I don't have my keys on. I don't have my key up. Okay, this is where I'm running into a little bit of problems because I can't control this key at the moment. I have tried. Again, there's bar rate. Oh, I think I'm the wrong one. Bar rater's application window mover thing. I've had a little bit of trouble getting that to work, and I think that's because I'm running the beta. And with that little plug-in for the Stream Deck, I should be able to shift windows, different application windows around to other windows. But again, because I'm on the beta version, I can't use that. So that's where these will be improvements that I'll make down the track. Yeah, it's not working at the moment, but yeah, it's kind of cool. It's not perfect yet because this stuff's in beta. A lot of the stuff I'm using is in beta. But yeah, it's cool. So that was that, and to use this button, we'll press it and show you how it works. So hopefully this all works. Okay, so as you can hear, it was fading out my audio, bringing up the video, in behind the scenes, that fade to black, and then once all the magic happens, we dip down from black and you see it all there, and it faded out my mic. That was the fade, so that I'm not talking over, and I could have controlled my mic manually on the Atem if I wanted to talk over a video, or you could not fade out your mic if that was what you needed. You needed to talk over some kind of video presentation or something. So, but that's how I've set it up for my needs. Okay, now that's the VLC setup. Okay, it is a little bit technical, and you do need to be running the beta stuff. I did answer some of the comments earlier in the last week's one. If you want to know where the beta plug-in for the Stream Deck is, I can send you a link to that, hopefully, if it hasn't moved, but I've got it anyway. If you really wanted it, I can give it to you to test out. Again, this is all beta stuff, so it can be a little bit tricky. The other one was the picture-in-picture in the video, so hopefully this works. I had it set up and it was working before, but I'm finding some little glitches in here as I've switched different things, so we'll see how this works. So what who was it? I think it was Leonardo. Yeah, he asked about a picture-in-picture. Well, I've showed that, the picture-in-picture stuff. Again, still needs a little bit of tweaking for me, but yeah, pretty straightforward. That was just macros. Okay, so I've just set up macros in Companion. I think they're on 97. Okay, so in this macro here, I've basically, on the Atem Mini Pro, I've set up a macro where I've either just switch the key off and switch picture-in-picture off, or mic picture-in-picture, which was supposed to be camera 2, but it keeps mucking around. I have to look at that. That may be an issue in the macro, that when it's on the DVE, it's not actually changing camera. I'll have to check my macro on that one. So if I come back to my switcher here, my keys open at the moment, but if I switch to DVE, and it all disappears. Okay, so you can kind of see me back here. Yeah, I'm kind of back here. So in the DVE, that's not going to work. The fill source is changing, but on the DVE, okay, so That's the digital video effects, and that's how I do the picture-in-picture. Yeah, so as you can see, I can pop that back there. Control-Shift-M. No, it's not working for some reason. Anyway, you can see I've recorded different macros in here. And that's all that's doing is, what happened? Oh, man. And the Stream Deck software, yeah, just by using the companion button here in a multi-action or by itself, I guess you could use it, controls these macros. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Okay, where's my key gone? I've lost my key. There's my key again. This key's causing me the problems. All right, so Leonardo also asked about stinger transitions. So basically they're like a little bit of a video clip and your logo and some audio going on. And if I could play a stinger transition, then another video, and then a stinger transition to finish. So I've set one up, and hopefully this works, where I just grabbed one off the internet, just a little transition. I've popped the video, not that one I showed you there, but one I showed you earlier when I was testing VLC, the Dead Blood trailer. So I've popped that stinger transition, and it'll do it picture in picture, hopefully. So I'll still be here. We'll test it anyway. So yeah, here it goes. Let's test this. Hopefully it works. So that's the stinger transition. Opened in VLC. Opened the next little movie clip in VLC.
The outbreak started in Budapest and spread at an
then it'll do the stinger transition again. So finish off.
Audio jungle.
And then I switch it off and pop back on my key. Okay, so yes, it can do that. You can play separate video clips and just program it. Again, I could show you that in the Stream Deck. So if I pop the Stream Deck software up here, I might go picture in picture again. It's going to crap out because of my key, but oh, that's right, it's opening this software now again, which I'm getting a laugh out of, but you guys aren't seeing it, and I've got to minimize that, my key, so you can see it, and I'll pop that there. Alright, I was just doing that behind the scenes. I've got obviously some things to work out there with my key. So that was this particular video here is played here, and here's the actions for that again. So I'm just killing off VLC just in case I've accidentally left it open. My audio software, so this is Google Play Music. That's how at the beginning of the stream you guys hear a little bit of music, and at the end of the stream when I end the show, it'll play some music. Then a key off, so I'm turning my key off again with one of those macros through Companion and the launcher. Okay, so that's the little stinger video, so that's opening it up in VLC. A bit of a delay of half a second so that it goes full screen. Okay, so because my key's off you can't see it, and then it does another half-second delay and does the picture-in-picture. So that's popping up. Again, you would have maybe noticed that you missed the first little part of the stinger transition because I didn't have any little bit of black video to fill in for these delays, and you guys kind of hopefully will get the idea. Then I switch my DVE fill source. This is where I'm having a little bit of an issue with the key still being there, that green key from H2R graphics. But anyway, I'll sort that out later. And then a 5-second delay here. That 5-second delay is for that video to play. Okay, so when I open the stinger, I have to time my delays so that the stinger plays for that, the transition plays for that whole time, and then launch my main video. Okay, so that was that little Dead Blood video. So that's what the delays are for. They're particularly this one here, is timing out the rest of it. So that stinger was 6 seconds. Because I've gone from launch, I've had a second of delays, which I've needed for full screen and picture and all this other little stuff that's happening in the background. And then I've got 5 seconds left to play that stinger transition, because it's only a 6-second transition. Then it opens up my main video, which I had another one in here, and I was playing the whole video for 2.5 minutes, and I got tired of that, so I made it 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever it was. 5 seconds to play, 10 seconds to play. So that's why you would have seen 10 seconds of dead blood. And then I don't need any more delays, because I'm just going to play out that stinger transition once again. And it is a toggle button. I could probably do this just as a single button and put a kill process or something at the end. I could still put a kill process after this, but I press the button and it does, just so that I have a bit of control over it. It really doesn't matter. You can work it out what works for you. So that was all of that, and it kind of works. Again, I'm having a little bit of an issue, with this key fill, but yeah, I'll put it back on and hopefully we'll see how we go. Control F and see how we go. That should work. So again, there we go, it's worked. So that is causing me the problems, and I can't quite move that window around, and I haven't been able to I can't see it the way it works. It's some of the coding. I'll have to work that one out, but I'll get to that one. Alright, so that's that. I can control audio with this thing. That's my Google Play Music. You'll hear a little bit of music in the background there. And that's that. That's pretty much it. That's the setup. That's how I do things. Again, as you can see, that's a bit glitchy still. I'm still in the process of working this out, and also I've been really busy with other stuff, so kind of getting to this as I can the last couple of days. Try and have something for this live stream today. So if you have any other questions about any of this stuff, feel free. I've got a few more in here. Hold on, I'll answer those. Again, I got carried away and missed all of that. So now here, is it possible side-by-side portrait as per? So Steve's asked, I'll just refresh the chat here. So sorry Steve, I've been a bit carried away. Is it possible side-by-side portrait as per conversation? Yes, it is. I could probably show that in another video down the track. Again, it's you'd have to use the DVE and mask one side, so you'd have to have a person sitting on one side for one camera, a person sitting on the other side for another camera, and then using the DVE you can mask off one half of one of the cameras and it would show the other camera. But yes, you can do it. It's not too hard. All right, so Steve, if you have a host side side, okay, yep, cool. Fernando already got to it. Sorry guys, I was a bit slow on the ball there. But yeah, you can. If you've got any other questions, fire away. Ismail, it's very important. Okay, cool. Hey Ismail, how are you? Pop into H2R and I can press my hide button so they just hide automatically. Yeah, so that's kind of about it for the stream today. Again, not everything worked perfectly how it had when I was testing. Most things don't when you go live unless they've been thoroughly tested, and I obviously only tested them as individual components. I didn't test them as part of this live stream show, and as I've found out, I've run into problems with that key for when I do certain things. It's kind of causing me a little bit of grief. I did have a bit of a problem with that at one stage when I was doing some other tests. so I did know it was a bit of an issue, but yeah. Anyway, I'll hopefully Bar Raider, his window moving plugin for the Stream Deck, will work when it's when I'm not using when beta's out of beta, I guess. Yeah, so that's about it. It is Friday. I have had this beer sitting over here. I am going to crack it now. Next screen up should be glasses that aren't as reflective. Yeah, I know. There's not. I could pop them up a bit like this, but yeah, you're going to cop the green. It's not much I can do about it. As looking at screens, I could. Yeah, I don't know what I can do there. Again, this is not really how I plan on doing things. This is a bit of a temporary thing. We plan to do things out in the studio. This is me just showing you the setup and how I do things. So, yes. Yes, thanks, Nixter. Yes. Okay. It's great you're doing these videos. I'm trying to find my way around. Same to H2O VLC Companion Stream Deck. So, oh, you're more than welcome, Fernando. Yeah, like I say, any questions, just ask me in the chat like you have been. Happy to answer them. Again, I'm no expert on all of this, but yeah, I've just been trial and error and working it out, jumping into forums, doing as much research as I could. The big penny drop moment for me was the beta stuff, trying to do what I wanted it to do in the non-beta version. Again, here's my beer. I've been wanting to have this. It's Friday. Yeah, really hamstrung the Stream Deck and Companion. Like I say, that's why people are saying that you can't get them to work together. But yeah, with the beta version stuff, it looks as though that they've been working on that, and I've just been testing it. So I'll kind of get a bit of information back to those guys about my tests and how things have been working. Also been beta testing this chat feature for H2R Graphics, which John Barker, he's a legend. This is a awesome little piece of software for these lower thirds graphics and things like that. So where's my lower third? I should be here. No, I'm not there. Oh, here I am. Yes, my lower third is here. Let's refresh the chat again. I've got a couple more new things in there. Steve, whoops, get rid of my lower third. This is great, enjoyed it. Yep, beer, it's 8:30 here in London, 8:50, sorry, AM in London. Yeah, might be a bit early for a beer in London, but Friday afternoon, nearly 6 o'clock here, nearly 6 p.m. So yeah, certainly time for a beer for me here. And we've got no, the beta's not available to the public. I've just become one of the beta testers for it. If you kind of look around, you can maybe find out about it. John Barker's asked not to really tell. Yeah, he asked to promote his H2O graphics software. He will be hopefully releasing this in a non-beta version very soon. But yeah, Aaron Parecki, if you check out his stuff, he goes through this. You might find some clues there. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Yeah. So Fernando, if you do a bit of a hunting round, you might be able to find something. Yeah, Aaron Parecki. Check out his videos. I've got a lot of stuff from him actually. On a serious note, Aaron Parecki's right onto this Atem Mini Pro stuff. He has just got a Stream Deck and been doing a fair bit of stuff with that as well. So check out his channel, his videos. He's using multiple Stream Decks. He's got multiple Atem Mini Pros. He's got 2 of them set up, which would be great. And then I could show you my multi-view and things like that, and it would work a little better. But yeah, I've only got the one. I've just bought another camera actually. The camera out in the studio, so I'll switch to that. That camera out there, that's our Red. It's a bit of overkill actually. Yeah, that's our Red camera out in the studio. A little bit of overkill using a Red for this kind of thing. The main camera up here that I'm using is a Sony A7 III. It's a great camera. I love my Sony A7 III. I've got the Atomos Ninja V or 5, whatever you want to call it, up on top of that. A little bit of a rig, plus I'm running a V-Lock battery on that, and the other camera, camera 1, which I haven't gone on much. Camera 1, that's our C100 Mark II, so that's a great camera as well. To replace the Red out of the system, the problem with the Red, we're coming out of HDMI, and I've switched off all the overlays and made the fan quiet. Like, the Red's not made for this. And yeah, the color out of the Red is very different to these other two cameras because it's a flat profile going into, and I've played around with the colors, and yeah, it looks a bit different, a bit too different for these. So I do have an A7 II just as a B camera coming to replace the Red. All right, so looking forward to that. That's on its way. I just bought that one, so that's on its way. All right, I want to finish this beer. I've talked for long enough. That's been an hour's show. Thanks guys for joining me. Again, if you have any questions, you know, just ask them in the chat. Yeah, message me. How some of you have been, happy to answer them. I'll keep on top of those as much as I can. And yeah, I am going to test this last one. This is the end part where it'll play the music. I'll dip to black eventually, play the music, and show the end screen and cut off the recording. So yeah, a bit of a macro I set up again, same sort of deal. So yeah, again, thanks a lot for joining me. Thanks for allowing me to test those chat features. I'll get back to John Barker with my stream here and how it went. Really good, kind of juggling the chats and all of that. So here we go, end screen. Catch you later. Catch you on the next one. I'll do another one next Friday. So thanks for coming. All right.